been paying more attention to them.
Well, this is their opportunity to show up and put up, and they're going to try to do so as experience is over to the Zol here in game number 1.
You see him coming out of the gate big. He's already swinging. He's already blasting. He wants the KO on a Cxti right out of the gate.
And he's trying to do so, getting some good damage built up. Cxti the most damage so far, not quite at that KO percent, but he's definitely hurting.
So we are seeing Maid still on the cross pickup, of course, after he played some incredible blasters previously. Walshy and Cxti coming in with a double gauntlet team with the Rayman and the Val, like we just saw previously. Good interruption there to save his teammate from possibly taking the recovery that would have led to the KO.
They gotta keep that teammate surviving. Side air almost takes out Cxti. Cxti has taken a lot of damage. Has got to be careful here. The Nair interrupts his teammate, and Experience going to capitalize. Hits the dare for the first KO.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was the Ninja729 that tweeted, "How do you KO with cannon?"
Yeah.
I have so much trouble doing that without adding up a gorillion damage. Pay attention to the way Experience is going to play this legend whenever he has a cannon in his hands.
I mean, the big thing here is it's doubles. Even if you're not the one who's finishing off stocks, you've also got that teammate who can come in, throw out that sig, throw out that big recovery to finish off the stocks that you might be struggling with.
If they can get this one from Maid, that'll put them in a better spot. But after that down signature that Maid just hit onto Cxti, Cxti is in danger. Not necessarily being taken out immediately, but man, that axe recovery almost did it. D-Light Nair, there you go. That's one of the things I told Ninja to do. D-Light Nair as your option. Experience just hit it. There's the recovery, taken out on the left side. 5 stocks to 2. Game 1 is not going well for Red.
Yeah, this is looking real good for the blue team. The offstage, the recovery, Experience gets another one. These stocks don't last long when Experience is on the field. Team combo and sig, dare for more. Doesn't hit the recovery, so Walshy will live, but he's so hurt.
Did Maid already dodge during that 2v1 combo?
Can't.
Because if he didn't dodge, then he probably should have gone for the neutral signature. That gives you a lot more room to just like not be precise compared to the blaster's recovery, which is going to move you up. It's going to have those little gaps in the blast between like the kick and then the blast and then the blast and the final one. So maybe going for the GC neutral signature, but he might not have had the dodge there as an option.
Well, either way, they managed to close that one out in a pretty commanding fashion. Walshy and Cxti did not have a lot of time to kind of download that one, figure out what worked, but they're going back to Apocalypse for game number 2.
No swaps coming out from either team. We'll see what happens this game. Nice little follow-up there from Walshy to send Experience over to the right side. He's going to be moving back in. It seems like he has his eyes set onto Cxti here, just completely attempting to run through Walshy to get over to the other Axe player on the board.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit safer, knows that he took a lot of damage early, but Walshy going to keep that threat going, hits him with the side air. Another side air, just keeping Experience boxed out while they go for the 2v1 onto Maid. Side sig connects, Maid's going to fall.
GC side signature is a very strong tool. I don't want to see it used all the time, but it is a solid option to just use. You can get over some of the grounded moves that have like a really short hitbox. We're looking at like sword D-Light, even cannon D-Light, just to get over it.
Plus, it kind of like dips down just a little bit, much like Walshy did to lead into that recovery. And when you're going against that gravity cancel side stick from those Rayman axes, like sometimes you're not expecting it to go low enough to hit you.
So Walshy and Cxti doing a much better job this game. We're seeing a lot of edge play coming out from Walshy. He does end up being taken out by Experience. Nice little down air there. You see Maid immediately rotating over to the right side to attempt to stop anything that was going to let Cxti get back.
Great plays coming out from the blue team, putting out a big old stop sign to stop the momentum of the red team. But he gets caught by his teammate a little bit. Experience taking a little bit more damage. Red team might be looking for the KO. Big read attempt from Cxti.
I'm so glad to see more cross, but I'm also really glad that specifically Maid is playing a lot of blasters on cross and not just like a gauntlet player who's like, hey, the gauntlet signatures are really good, so I'm going to pick cross and then play a bunch of gauntlets. But no, man, Maid's blasters are fantastic today. I'm really enjoying watching them.
Yeah, Maid's been looking really, really good with this cross. Like, it kind of makes you forget that he played a lot of different Scythe Legends, right? Like, he had the Mordex, he had the Mugen, but it's been all about those blasters and those gauntlets. And he made the active decision just now to switch to the blasters.
An Experience made the active decision
to
fastball and then side air his teammate. If that would have been a Cxti side air, that would have been the knockout.
Yeah, that kind of reduction in damage and force from your teammate keeps the teammate alive for a little while longer, but edge guard opportunity, down sig doesn't connect, experience with a little bit of a turnaround onto Walshy.
Nice side air onto Cxti, completely bouncing him off the wall, sending him away. The attempt for the power play onto Walshy. They take Cxti off of second, putting him on final. See if Walshy's able to get through without taking too much damage. Only really took that weapon toss.
Yeah, Walshy did a great job not getting caught in between both of the blue team members, knows the power of those team combos.
Experience is the most damaged on the board. He's going to have to be a little bit careful. He's not in super dangerous territory. That side sig is going to hit Maid, but also Experience comes in with the side air, this time not on his teammate. Going to hit the opponent. Now Walshy is the most damaged on the board. Great interruption on that side signature. That could have been the KO onto Walshy.
Yeah, great pickup. That gravity cancel down light. You even saw Cxti from behind trying to get a side sig as well. Still not enough to finish off Experience. Experience gonna get the down light nair. It's a clean trade, but Cxti has the health advantage.
Ninja, are you paying attention? He's hit a lot of D-Light nairs, which I respect. I'm not trying to discount the Ninja 729, who's one of the best cannon players. But yeah, that's watch how Experience is hitting his D-Lights. Not gonna KO. Started in orange but didn't end in red. That's usually the difference maker, and Cxti gets the KO off the top, but just barely.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a nerve-wracking match, right? Cxti at the very end, he had the gauntlets, had that potential, Maid had the gauntlets, had the potential for the edge guard, opted to swap over to the blasters. That D-Light recovery, if this wasn't Apocalypse, if this was small Brawlhalla, that stock would have been gone.
The simple side light into the recovery is the win condition there for Cxti. Going back to Apocalypse. I definitely wouldn't say this map favors either team. I don't think the map is making that much of a difference here. Now, maybe those tiny sidewalls a little bit, but we have a lot of engagement really from both teams on the edge. We're seeing victories come out from both teams on the edge.
Here we are into
gauntlets.
Game number 3. Whose edge play is going to be victorious in this one? Right now, looking good for the red team as Walshy gets the side sig.
That was a really strange pacing coming out from Walshy. It seemed like he might have gone over for the edge guard, but no, he completely disengaged from it. Then you see Maid come back up, and he's like, turns around, hits the side sig. I thought it was a complete disengage from Walshy, but no. He was waiting for just a moment before throwing out that side signature, KOing Maid. That's huge. That's a high defense legend that you're KOing very early on. It was like the beginning stages of red.
Yeah, really good kind of ebb and flow coming out from Walshy to bait Maid back up, thinking it was safe. But the damage advantage not fully in favor of the red team, because look at Experience. He's so untouched as he gets the double.
He's untouched. He's finding KOs. He's finding damage. He's doing a lot for this blue team.
And really, it feels like it's all about that Experience cannon, right? Like Game 1, big cannon plays. Game 2, the cannon was not there. Game 3, the cannon's been coming alive again, but the KOs don't hit.
Oh, man, there you go again. Still not KOing with that neutral signature. And even though Experience is he's doing incredible, he's doing such a fantastic job of surviving, of doing damage, of finding KOs. But on the other side, Maid is just being bullied. He's being taken out of this game, put on his final stock. It's 4 stocks to 3.
Yo, but if Maid can find the extension.
Okay. They turned it back onto Maid. What a combo!
They want Maid.
It's like they're so on the same page, and it's so hard to do that given the moment. Because even if you say to your teammate, think about how long it would take you to communicate that versus how quickly things are moving in this game.
Yeah, there was basically no thinking time there from the red team. They just said, okay, we're going for Maid, and they did it. They added so much damage onto Maid. This is looking dire for the blue team here in game number 3.
Oh, completely pulls away from that. Smart choice.
Walshy with the movement, gets back up safely.
Wow.
Cxti from below.
I didn't think he was going to be able to get below Experience that quickly.
The movement. Maid still living, though. Off stage, Experience eats a ground pound to dare. Experience, the save from Maid. Maid, Experience turns it around. Everyone's on final stocks.
That's going to be the full wipe. Even though the red team is in the lead, they do have to be extremely careful. Experience's cannon. I talked about enjoying Maid's blasters. I'm loving Experience's cannon right now. He's doing such a good job with it.
Yo, the side
He did it again, man. Walshy's so good with that side signature. Almost gets the side air. They keep the pressure up onto Experience. Now he's at the same damage that Maid is.
And they get one. They get the end sig. Experience has to play the 1v2 of his life. The follow-up.
We're going to game 4.
We're going to game 4. Walshy and Cxti with the team combos taking down this blue team and really just relegating Maid to 270 damage. Here you're seeing just like the mid hits. You see Experiences there, but Cxti's like, no, I'm going to dare Maid. I want to keep the pressure on the person who's on their final stock.
I want to give Experience a lot of credit here as well for doing 0 team damage that game. That's very hard to do. And it's not like he was taken out in the first 45 seconds, so him not doing any team damage isn't a big deal. No, he did the 3rd most damage in the game, which sounds like not the most, but if you look at him, it's 550 coming from him compared to the 559 of Cxti and 580 of Walshy. So those 3 players are all right around one another. So Experience is a part of the game. He's finding those KOs, and somehow, while he's swinging that gigantic cannon around, blasting away, he's not hitting his teammate whatsoever.
Well, now he's making the swap over to the Rayman for game number 4. No opportunity for the cannon in this one, but he's hoping that it'll have more follow-up potential for Maid.
Of course, we're going back to Apocalypse. We may just find ourselves on this for the rest of the set. We especially will if Walshy and Cxti end up getting the victory here. But even if we go to a game 5, I don't know if I would recommend a stage swap whatsoever. Walshy and Cxti just seem to be playing a little bit better than Maid and Experience.
You say that, but the first KO goes in favor of Maid and Experience. And again, Experience so untouched. Maid comes in, interrupts Walshy, so Walshy can't even go for the optimal damage of that down-like ground pound. Walshy's going to get taken out on the left side.
Now, we're seeing Experience swap over onto the Rayman pick. Oh, nice side air. Side airs to the left, side airs to the right.
Blue team looking like a whole different beast. Experience, he's just taking stocks.
Stop fighting him on the edge. Just don't do that. It is not really a successful maneuver, and he's shown that early on in the set, and he's continuing to show that now. Just kind of don't do it. It's not a smart choice. It's not safe
finally
behavior.
Get one.
If you want to be healthy, you should eat a balanced diet of fruit and vegetables and protein. And if you want a healthy lifestyle, do not fight Experience on the edge. You will lose.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend not fighting Experience on the edge.
The 10th one is Experience. I don't know how he got a lab coat on.
He's like, do it.
His name, he just wrote on it in crayon. It says Dr. Experience, and he says, no, it's totally safe. Oh my goodness, Made an Experience. 4 stocks to 2, could be 4 stocks to 1 very quickly.
Yeah, this is looking real good for the blue team, red team. I mean, Cxti's basically out of this one. Goes for the edge guard against Experience. Saves Experience instead of finishing the stock. And Cxti, I don't know if that's enough.
Experience is still living on this one. They cannot take away the second stock. And he's doing so much work here. He gets the side air, turns around, puts some damage onto Maid. That's going to get Walshy stuck, and this one is over. We're going to a game 5.
And that was definitely a planned team combo because Maid was charging up that side sig before Experience was even thinking of throwing out the down air. He was ready for it because the team combo was there, and Maid did so much. Look at that.
Maid essentially lived probably about 80% of that game on his first stock. Very impressive.
Yeah, Maid was surviving and getting KOs. We're going into game number 5. Who's it going to be? Walshy, Cxti, Experience, and Maid. So much momentum just swung in favor of the blue team.
We're going back to Apocalypse. The first 2 weapons picked up are on the axe players, and both of them were axes. Third weapon went to Walshy. Now Maid has gauntlets in his hand as well. We'll see if they continue to fight Experience on the edge. Now, maybe they can go for it if Experience is playing axe. I haven't seen necessarily the most evidence that his axe on the edge is as good as his gauntlets, and I think that's just also a reflection of the weapons themselves. But if he has gauntlets in his hands, man, which he does now, just don't go there. That's just that's the light. That's not where the light touches. We don't go there.
Yo. But they do go for the edge play against Maid, and it works out in favor of them. They get the KO. Walshy trying to disengage, trying to get away from Experience, but Experience is really trying to force it, right? Like, he's trying to shove them off. There's the team combo, but Experience gets in, hits the recovery onto Cxti.
Dropped it a little bit towards the end and also put out a little bit of damage on his team, but they did put some good damage onto Experience. Maybe they just go to focus Maid out again. That was one of the previous ingredients to success that they used to take a previous game, but we are pretty even on this one. Walshy is going to have a little bit less damage on this, especially with the defensive Val coming in, the possibilities of the high ceiling of Apocalypse. He may not be in the territory to be taken out just yet.
You know, going side sig for side sig, not going to connect on either one of them. Looking for the KOs, 2 people in the red. Experience a little more hurt, but he manages to avoid the side sig from Walshy. And Sig this time will connect.
Even though it didn't spike and bounced off the main stage, they added up that damage onto Experience, and it was enough to send him into the blast zone. Maid now in the orange on second stock. Walshy still living on first. Maid now in the red as well. He's basically at the same spot that Walshy is, but 1 stock later.
But I think Maid's kind of recognized the situation. He knows that he is more damaged than basically everyone else. He needs to start out surviving. You're seeing kind of that movement come out. He's trying to play a little bit more back. Let Experience take that front line role.
Walshy is able to grab a weapon pretty quickly, so he's not going to spend his time disarmed. Both players of blue, man, there was the possibility that Walshy could pick up both members of blue team yet again with that neutral signature over on that corner. That would have been huge, because that would have put Experience into a disadvantaged state, and that would have taken Maid out. They did get the stock eventually, so now it's 4 stocks to 3, but we could see Cxti on final stock in just a second. So we still have a very even game so far. A little bit of team damage there coming out from Experience. I'm not sure if that was on purpose to maybe send his teammate more towards the middle away from the edge, or if it just happened to be a misplay.
Might have just been a slight misinput, but like you were kind of saying, this one is far from over. The N-Sig again connects onto Maid. The red team wants him. You can see them both rotating over, but it just lets Experience get the ground pound onto both red team members.
If Walshy can just hold on. Okay, he's going to go for the
team
side
combo.
signature. Neutral. Oh, man. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the choice is there, because if you go for that neutral signature like he did, you start it to the right, and then it ended up sending to the left, which is such a far away blast zone. But, like, so what do? Do you go for a side air? You're not going to have as much of a damage dump or anything like that. You're not going to send flying as far. So that's a really tough spot to make the decision. You probably just go for the auto muscle memory neutral signature KO option that you would expect.
Just went for the obvious thing. Even though it didn't KO, still great damage. You can see, like, Maid, he doesn't really get to play right now. He's stuck on the outside, but he gets the turnaround onto Walshy. Everyone's on final stocks.
He got a little bit too confident against Maid on the edge. He saw the damage that's on Maid's stock. Maid actually going over to the wall. Maybe if they just disengage from Maid and focus on Experience, he's just going to go back over to the wall. If they can get like 1 good hit on him to send him flying to the right side, they can really focus on Experience. Maid is just like not letting them get the 2v1 onto Experience. He comes in, makes Walshy or Cxti turn around, then goes back over to the wall. Experience, though, taken out of the game. Maid in the 1v2.
But he's going for it, and Cxti is going to fall.
Oh, man.
Walshy versus Maid.
Oh, he's hunting for those recoveries. Wants to find the KO here. I don't know if a raw recovery would do it. It might, but I'm not sure.
N-Sig thrown out. Downlight recovery. Walshy holds on, clutches it out, and is going to win it in game number 5. Walshy and Cxti guaranteeing a top 3 finish.
Walshy clutched out that entire game. 674 damage, 4 of the KOs, almost 400 damage alone on his gauntlets.
I want to give so much credit to Maid for surviving for so long there. And it's not like he was purely just sitting on that outside wall doing absolutely nothing. Like you said, he'd kind of make his presence known, just poke with those blasters, sidelights, kind of just make sure that they couldn't completely collapse onto Experience. It just wasn't quite enough. Walshy and Cxti able to close it out.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an interesting tactic that I've certainly never really noticed before. That doesn't mean no one else was doing it, but I've certainly never noticed it before. His ability to go